At this time, I'd like to have Mr. Peterman come up with Assistant Principals Ms. Lambert and Mr. Tremblay for the Sanford High Student of the Year and the Male and Female Teens of the Year.
Good evening, everyone. I was voted to go first. Courage, resolve, and strength of character. These are words that define grit. They're also the words that easily describe the young lady I have been given the honor to speak about tonight. It is with great pleasure that I present the 2019 Outstanding Female Teen of the Year Award to Gianna Beninati. Gianna, or Gigi, as she is known by most, has used her time here at Sanford High School to gain skills and knowledge that will lead her to a life of success. She's conquered classes like AP Calculus, Aspire Stats, AP Literature and Language, Biomedical Ethics and Anatomy, and Physiology, to name a few. She will graduate with over 30 credits and has earned a spot in the top 50 of her class. Gianna is a young lady who puts everything she has into her passions. She's accumulated over 70 community service hours supporting those passions. Her first passion for Sanford High had her helping with the WGME Spirit Challenge, giving tours of the new school, and helping process hundreds of new math books. She has also spent hours giving back to her community, supporting the CJL Fun Run, being a member of the kitchen staff at a youth camp, and volunteering at Curtis Lake Church. These are just a few of the many ways Gigi has shown her love for her school and community. I reached out to the staff to ask about Gigi, and here are just a few of their thoughts. Mrs. White shared, beyond the school walls, Gigi's leadership is present in the mother nature she holds so dear. On the bleachers as she encourages school spirit from her peers and throughout the community, the place she calls home. In addition, Gigi pushes her group, her classmates, to go above and beyond, just as she would herself. She makes them realize they can do it, and she supports them every step of the way. Ms. West wrote, Gigi is a passionate young woman with big goals for her future. She's kind, caring, and wears her heart on her sleeve. She works hard, and her focus allows her to do wonderful things. Gigi is very passionate about the environment and giving back to her community. This semester, she and some friends worked with Miss West's daughter's Girl Scout troop to teach them about plastics in the ocean. Gigi went with the girls to help during their action project, helping them clean the beaches, and also made a video of the project. Her reason for the extra work of a video was simply, we need to educate the world about what plastics are doing to the environment, and I wanted to help the troop spread the word. Ms. Maris echoes Gigi's desire to help the environment. She motivates her peers to action both locally by planting trees and trash cleanups around campus, and globally through raising funds to help clean up ocean plastic pollution. She further commented, I will miss her enthusiasm and infectious personality when she leaves. Finally, Ms. Preston shared, Gigi doesn't make excuses. She takes responsibility for making something of herself. She has battled circumstances that many would have walked away from, but her determination, her grit, has fueled her to work harder. She has grabbed onto her education as a lifeline, something she enjoys but also knows will provide her with opportunities she might not otherwise have. I congratulate Gianni again on the positive impact she's made at Sanford High School, and I know she will have the same impact at USM when she begins the next phase of her journey in the fall. Congratulations.
Before I start, just a couple of things. It's exciting to hear so many students, top 10 students, and I'm sure many others, headed to the University of Orono as a fellow alum. Go Black Bears. And those of you that chose UNH, well, good luck to you too. For those of you that don't know the UMaine UNH rivalry, that's where that comes from. So, and I do want to apologize following the old English teacher Clearly, she has a lot to write, and I'm a little bit shorter than that. So I apologize to the person that I call up. But so, good evening. I'd like to thank the Elks for their time and effort in putting on tonight's celebration. Your recognition of youth year after year shows how committed the Elks is to our community and to our youth. And for that, we all thank you. And I think a good round of applause is in order. I'd also like to thank the youth that we're celebrating tonight. Thank you for your efforts. Thank you for your blood, sweat, and tears you put into your education for the past 13 years. Thank you for making yourselves, your families, and your community proud. I'd also like to extend a selfish thank you. Since leaving the classroom last year for my new position as assistant principal, I don't often get a lot of time in classrooms to see the great work that you're all doing. I don't often get to have the great conversations with students like yourselves that I used to have as a classroom teacher. Unfortunately, there are many of you that I haven't had the privilege of speaking to, as you're not my typical clientele. As you can tell, I definitely miss my classroom. A night like tonight is an important reminder for me of the many positive things going on in our building every day, and of the hard work that many of you have been committed to for the past 13 years. So from me to you, thank you. With that, I'm excited to recognize this year's Elks Male Teen of the Year. Last year, I wrote my speech in such a way to withhold the identity of the winner until the end, in hopes of building some suspense as to who the winner was. This year, that's a little more difficult, because this young man has been quite a special member of our student body since the first day he stepped foot in Sanford High School. There's not much that I or his teachers can say about him that wouldn't almost immediately reveal his identity. So, we'll see how long it takes. This student came to the high school at the ripe old age of 12. His freshman year, he successfully completed 3 AP courses, something that most upperclassmen wouldn't attempt to do, and something I never did. So we all know who I'm talking about, and in case you don't, I'd like to introduce to everybody Sam Mercer. As I wasn't fortunate enough to have Sam as a student before leaving the classroom, and I would have had to fight Mr. Walker for him, I'd like to share some of the things that some of Sam's closest teachers said about him. Mr. Camary, Big Mark, shared that Sam lost one of his baby teeth in class while they were... I had to go there, Sam, sorry. While they were preparing for the AP Calculus exam his freshman year. Mr. Camary also proudly shared that Sam went on to earn 4 more college credits for passing Calculus 2 before turning 13. As Mr. Camary puts it, simply mind-blowing. Another math teacher and math team coach, Mr. Soul, said that Sam has been a crucial part of the math team for the past 4 years. He's not only reliable, but he's also well prepared and always willing to help explain problems to others, probably including Mr. Soul. He's not here, so I can say that. Sam is an amazing young man with a great mind and unlimited options with his collection of skills and aptitude. Miss Maris thought Sam's Lego models in AP Biology when he was a freshman were not only age appropriate, but well done, especially his model on tuberculosis. I'd love to hear about that. She very much enjoyed your creativity and passion. Miss Maris also credits Sam with being the driving force behind the Science Bowl team this year. She thanks you for helping to motivate your teammates and for organizing and running practices. It didn't surprise me much when Miss Maris said he organized and ran practices, because Sam also started his very own AP Chem Club this year. Sam has met with AP Chemistry students 2 days a week from 2:20 to 4 to help prepare for the AP exam. I happened to pop in a few days while Sam was working with students, and I was excited to play along in some games of Jeopardy that Sam had prepared. Thank you, Sam, for letting me play. How'd I do? Moving on. Mr. Walker thanks you too for all your time and hard work in helping him look good. Mr. Kane says when he thinks of Sam Mercer, he thinks of one of the classiest, mentally tough individuals he's ever met. He says it's one thing to be taking 4 to 6 AP classes at once, but quite another thing to be doing it while being in great mood every day with a huge smile, incredible manners, and a remarkable sense of optimism and happiness. I've never seen anything quite like it. And Mr. O'Connell, let me reread this, that gets nerve-wracking. Mr. O'Connell says, Mr. O'Connell, Sam's baseball coach, would like to thank you, Sam. He said while you were dealing with an injury during the early part of the season, he found you on stage with his 8-year-old son, Caden, working on math skills, and now his kid's a math genius. He also said that he continues to warn the baseball team that they better be good to Sam because most of them are likely going to be working for you someday. Sam, Sanford High School would like to thank you, not only for your accomplishments and the time you've spent helping others, but for reminding us that age is only a number. You've proven that age doesn't define who you are as a student. You'll graduate Sanford High School in a month, having successfully completed 8 AP courses, several honors courses, several independent studies, and you'll start college in the fall with more than a year's worth of college credits completed. You've been the Doogie Howser of Sanford High School. How? Yes? No? Yes? Okay. Those of you that don't know who Doogie Howser was, he was a young doctor on a television show when I was a kid. I apologize for my Doogie Howser reference. Did you know who Doogie Howser was? All right, here we go. Nice. So Doogie, we wish you the best. Your teachers wish they could be there with you to see the heads spin as you step foot on the campus of UNH next year, only to knock the socks off your engineering professors as you begin to help your new classmates. Sam, we wish you the best, and again, we thank you for everything you've done for Sanford High and for our community. Congratulations.
So now I get the task of being the last person standing in the way for us to leave for the evening. That's all right. No, I'm just kidding. All right. Good evening. I want to take a moment to recognize the tremendous effort put forth by the Elks organizing and putting on this superb banquet for our Sanford High School students. I need to express my gratitude and thank you for all your hard work in order to continue this tradition for our school and our community. We are very grateful and thank you. So I have the distinct honor of recognizing our Sanford High School Student of the Year. And I have the honor of introducing the young man, Kang Trong. As I began preparing to talk about this young man, I started to realize I had a difficult task in front of me. I had to talk about someone that spent 4 years at Sanford High School successfully working and completing his classes very, very quietly, which is a good thing. But how do you come up with some interesting stories when he just goes about his business and does it on a daily basis? As you can see, he missed only 1 day of school. He took darn near every course in the program of studies, at least the challenging ones, and blew them out of the water. So, that being said, like I said, he goes about his business every day quietly. Obviously, this is not a bad thing. He worked and earned the highest GPA in the class of 2019. While he may not admit it, but he did admit it to Mr. McDougal, he wishes he had been a little more social during high school. I believe, though, he should be proud of what he's accomplished with us and value the memories and the friendships he has made here. While at SHS, Kang competed on the math team all 4 years, captaining the team this year. Additionally, he's been active with the environmental club. Now, this club made him step out of his comfort zone a little bit as they nominated him for the Ice Prince this year. So for Winter Carnival, instead of a homecoming king and queen like we have in the fall, we have the Ice Prince for the Winter Carnival, and they nominated him, and of course, he won. So you got to wear the crown, so that was awesome. Lastly, he participated in Science Bowl 3 out of 4 years for Coach Beth Maris. And speaking of Mrs. Maris, she had some kind comments about Kang, whom she says is a wonderful young man. He leads his class by silent excellence. He tolerates, with a smile, the constant chatter by Niraj. Lastly, one of the interesting comments was about his handwriting. She marvels, saying that he has the most beautiful handwriting she has ever seen by any of her students. So that in and of itself was one thing that she was amazed by. Needless to say, Mr. Greg McDougal, who is his counselor, says, simply put, he is one of the very brightest and most intellectually accomplished and dedicated students that has ever crossed my path to date. Quiet, kind, and ever attentive, Kang has blazed a trail of academic success second to none at Sanford High School over his 4 years here. Mr. Mark Kamari states, for 2 years now, I have personally witnessed Kang tirelessly seek and solve what we refer to as voodoo math problems daily. His legend will continue to grow within my classroom walls as I plan to share the story of Kang with my future math students for years to come. So during his free time, he enjoys spending time with his family and has done volunteer work at a local animal hospital. So next year, this young man will be attending the University of Maine at Orono. We should get like an honorarium for that. We're sending a lot of people there. And he's going to be studying computer engineering. As this intelligent young man moves on to the next stage of his life, his fine character, critical thinking skills, and thirst for knowledge will serve him well and allow him to conquer any task laid out before him. I am confident he will continue to grow and find excellence at the University of Maine. Excellent work, and congratulations again.
You guys behind. Move in front, you guys behind.